issues. I think to be a good leader in government, you need to have two things: real life experience and then also some practical knowledge of the issues, especially as things are becoming more and more complex for governments and zoning issues and tax policies. That's really important. Professionally, I'm a small business owner and also a part-time Army National Guard officer in the Utah Army National Guard. I've done 2 combat tours in Iraq with the Army and just returned from the second one at the end of last year. And I think that's given me a lot of leadership experience and also ability to make good decisions under pressure, evaluate the consequences of different choices. And I think that's really what the council does. They need to take all the information and make a good decision. My other qualities I think I could be a good servant for you is a good listener, like the other gentlemen have mentioned, also a team member. As a member of the biggest team in the United States, the U.S. Army, I've learned a lot about a team member. And that's an important attitude, I think, for the council. You're one of 5 council members. If I'm elected by the people, I'll be one of 5. And it takes 3 to get anything done. You have to have a majority to get something passed. So I think that attribute of being able to work with people, being able to have your principles and what you'd like to see, but being willing to work with the other members, and they need to get some of what they want, and in the end, the best decision gets made for the city. So those were the attributes I think I could bring to help the city, is my perspective, as a small business owner, and also my experience as a leader, a good listener, and a good team member. Thank you.
Thank you, Brent. Brent Taylor. There are 3, 4, 5 chairs still available up near the front of the auditorium here if anybody wants to come up and have a seat. It's going to be a long stand if you don't. Let's move into the mayor's race now. The same question: who are you? Brief history. Look at your life. How long a resident? Education, vocation, whatever you want to throw out on this matter. Richard Harris.
Thanks, Lou. My name's Richard Harris. I'm 66 years old. I grew up in St. Anthony, Idaho. I had the great privilege of marrying my childhood sweetheart, Marilyn. We met in 5th grade. Actually, it was 5th grade band. And we'll be celebrating our 47th wedding anniversary next month. We have 8 children, 1 daughter and 7 boys, and John Arrington's son just delivered our 27th grandchild just about a week ago. So we have a large family and we love them very much. I went to school at Utah State University. I obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering. I then went to work for the United States Forest Service, and I spent a 35-year career there with the Forest Service. I'm now retired. I had a lot of great experience in leadership and program management, fiscal responsibility, all those sorts of things encompassed my career in the Forest Service. Not only did I do a lot of engineering work, but I was involved in a lot of other kinds of activities because the National Forestry manages the multiple use philosophy. And so I learned a lot about a lot of other disciplines as well, and that's helped me in my later life. One interesting side note, I was a member of what they called a Class 1 fire team, an overhead team, so I not only worked for the Forest Service as an engineer and as a program manager, but I also had a lot of firefighting experience, and that was a great thing. I traveled all over the western United States. I think as far as North Ogden is concerned, we were transferred here with the Forest Service back in 1981. When we got to this area, I'd never been in Ogden before except to be in the Forest Service's regional office in Ogden. And I could not imagine living in Ogden. And, when I got transferred here, I thought that might be the end of the world. When we came out to North Ogden, my mind changed in a hurry. We were shown a number of different places to live. Once we saw North Ogden, there was no question about where we were going to live and raise our family. By good circumstances, almost serendipitous circumstances, I was able to finish out my career here in North Ogden. We moved here in 1981. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, so we've been here 28 years. Even though I transferred back out to the Wasatch Cache National Forest from the regional office where I was assigned, we were able to stay here in North Ogden, and I appreciate that very much. So I've been involved in North Ogden. I was appointed to the Planning Commission by Mayor Bob Colvin back in 1983. And I served there for 11 and a half years. I'm just finishing up my second term as a city council member, and now, of course, I'm running for mayor of North Ogden. I've been involved as a volunteer and in these other two entities ever since we've moved here. I love North Ogden City. I have a lot to offer North Ogden. I've been involved in many, many different activities. I feel like I have the ability to represent North Ogden to the fullest. I can meet with people, I can represent the city, I can get things done. As mayor, ordinarily I would not have a vote on the issues that come up. We have what's called the traditional form of government here in North Ogden. That's 5 council members and the mayor. But the mayor does not vote except to break a tie. I've only seen the mayor vote twice in my 8 years on the city council, so it doesn't happen very often. However, the mayor is a facilitator and is an administrator, and I have those abilities, and I'll be able to handle that in an excellent manner.
Thank you, Richard. And those of you who were at the Senior Center for the Meet the Candidates night perhaps remember that we discussed this then at that time, that this is not the Richard Harris who wrote MacArthur Park. Grand English man. What was it, 67, 68 that he wrote that? About that. He kind of let the cat out of the bag this time, because he said he has been in the band. And there you go. If he's been in the band, I think it doesn't bring a message to you. Someone left a cake out in the rain, and I don't think I can take it because it took too long to bake it, and I'll never get that recipe again. Oh, what lyrics. What lyrics. All right. Let's continue with the mayor's race. The candidate, Reed Mackley. What say you, Reed Mackley?
I appreciate, like everyone else, the opportunity to meet with you. I know it's a concern to all citizens who their leaders are and what they're about to do, or what they would like to do. I was born and raised also in Idaho. Michigan, I guess, comes from good country. But we moved here in 1962 after graduating from dental school. I practiced dentistry for 32 years and had some other activities as well. We had several other businesses, and I've been involved with some subdivision projects. We did a couple of subdivisions, built quite a few homes, built most of the homes for the family. I don't know, maybe 20 or 25 homes. In each case, we've been involved with the city. Seems to me quite intimately when you're doing the building process. We are thankful to be here. My wife and I, Pauline, have 8 children. We have 56 grandchildren. We hear 57 is on the way. I have lost track now how many great-grandchildren we have. But we love North Ogden and the beautiful surroundings. We were in Canada for a year and a half some time ago, and I was so homesick for the mountains. When we got back home, how beautiful these mountains are. And every evening as the sun sets, as we all do, it's beautiful scenery. I love North Ogden. My hope and my objective is that I feel like government generally in our society is growing too big, both national, state, and county and city level. My hope what I hope to accomplish, if I were to be elected mayor, would be to reduce the government to its proper limits. Limited government is critical in my understanding. Freedom is the main issue in limited government. It's necessary. Some have thought I would do away with all government. That's not true. All of the essential government functions would have to be maintained, but I do believe that government can grow too big and become a burden on the backs of the people. And so my main thrust is freedom for the individual and relief from overburdening government, with the understanding And some have tried to put words in my mouth to say I'd do away with all government. That's not true.